Good morning, good afternoon, happy Friday. Welcome to the Coaches Collab. Welcome, fellow pet health enthusiasts. We are so happy to have you join us today. I have a very exciting guest, fellow holistic pet health coach, Melissa Sherman. She is amazing. I am so happy to have you here today.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
And I have to give this disclaimer. She is joining us in the midst of a power outage. And so she's rolling off of a generator and her phone. So thanks again, Melissa, for being here. And speaking of being here, as holistic pet health coaches, one of the reasons that we're doing the Coaches Collab is to be here for you. We want you to be able to get to know us. We want you to be able to get to know what we do, how we were trained, and really, we're here to find the connection and the collaboration, meaning that we've been through a lot of pet health struggles, and that is really the reason that we are here doing this today. And chances are, if you're struggling with a health issue with your pets, one of us has been through it too. So we're really here for you. Being a holistic pet health coach, we are trained by the amazing Dr. Ruth Roberts, and we are trained in functional medicine, traditional Chinese veterinary medicine, nutrition, environmental factors. And it's really a well-rounded education to help bridge the gap between pet parents and vets. This is where we come in. I mean, what does it mean to you, Melissa, to be a pet health coach? You've been in the pet world for a while now, and it's really near and dear to your heart.
I love it. It was the missing piece for me. I've done a bunch of nutrition courses. I've taken herbalism courses, and there was still something I couldn't figure out for my dog Denny. I just couldn't figure it out. And then there was just something about TCVM that it was so out there for me, but I love the concepts. Learning those pieces really helped me tie in some things that I was missing for Denny's gut. And it just being able to share that with people, being able to support people through chronic illness, I think that's the biggest thing. Because when I was spiraling and struggling and in the thick of it, going down every rabbit hole I could go down, there was nobody. I didn't know where to go. I had to find it on my own. So to have somebody that's already gone through that and to, bring on a client and help them and hold their hand through this whole thing and be able to support them and talk to them and tell them what their options are. And it's not just one thing. It's you can do this or you can do this, this, and this. And just putting out the options, I think just empowering people to be able to make choices and know they have choices is what it is to me to be a health coach.
That's such a great answer. I know for me, there was a lot of similarities involved. I just felt when I was struggling with my little dog, Darla, and I'll probably mention her a couple of times, and I've mentioned her before on other lives. She has just, she's been kind of a medical mystery, and she had some really severe issues, and vets said that she would probably be on medication for the rest of her life, and she wouldn't have a very long one. And I just couldn't accept that. So I had a background in human holistic health. So I decided to start applying a lot of those principles to her and just kind of continued down that road. I am so happy and lucky to report that my little pumpkin is now 14 and thriving. Even Miss Melissa Sherman has been a part of her health journey, which I'm very grateful for. And it's been wonderful to have this support. And she was my why. She was my why as to getting into holistic pet health coaching, because I told myself, I don't want to see other pet parents struggle like I had to. And when you said I felt hopeless, that's what we're here for. We want to
giving
give hope.
Shining that light on the possibility of what you can do, because it's really jarring to hear you're going to have to be on medication the rest of your life, or you're going to have to give your cat insulin for the rest of their life. and no other options. So there are other options to help manage something so it's not as extreme. And sometimes the side effects from the pharmaceuticals are too much for that animal to handle too. So, looking for an alternative is necessary because, I had a cat that had thyroid medication. She couldn't handle the medication. That's a problem if you can't manage hyperthyroidism. It's a real problem for cats. So if they can't even handle the pharmaceuticals, then what? Then it's
Right.
like euthanasia? No, I don't think so. And
Right.
I just want to be the voice to say it doesn't have to be the end. There is hope. We can help you.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. That's really the case. Well, I want to know a little bit about your business, Calming Creek. It really is calming. I put a link in the comments
Thank
to
you.
Melissa Sherman's Calming Creek. Her website is even calming. So tell me a little bit about how that came to fruition. I also want to hear about your crew. Melissa has a menagerie
I
at
have a
her
few
house.
animals here.
Tell me
so
about that, Miss
so I'll
Melissa.
start with my animals because I love, love, love talking about them. I have 7 dogs and all the way
7.
from
I don't
pig.
know if I
Yes,
knew that.
7. 3
Wow.
Great Pyrenees, and I will. They're working. They're working dogs. I mean, they have agency. They can make their own decisions, but they love their animals. They love their outdoor animals. They love guarding their goats and their pigs. So I have those 3. And then I have 2 coon hounds, and they were foster fails. Oops. I have
Oops.
a few of those. And then I have a Chihuahua mix, which is Denny, and I have a Chihuahua Cooper. So I have all the way from giant to tiny, 4 cats, 2 pigs, 4 goats, a bunch of chickens, ducks, turkeys, and some pigeons and guinea fowl.
Wow.
So that's it.
My goodness. How do you
Oh,
keep
I'm
up
sorry. I
with?
have a rabbit too.
Oh, we can't forget about the little bun bun.
Yeah, never.
Okay, so I'm thinking about how I grew up on a farm, and a lot of times we had to learn to be our own vet. We were out in the middle of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah.
So, if something needed to get done, a lot of times we had to do it. But we had cows and horses and dogs and cats, and it took up most of the day. How in the world? You are amazing with your multitasking. How in the world do you pet health coach and take care of your crew? What are your
Um,
tips here, Melissa?
I I wake up, I have a great routine. I wake up early, I feed the animals, but that whole routine is part of what grounds me and it connects me with everything. My animals, the earth, it connects me. So when I come and I start working, I'm already like, I'm fresh and I feel good. Excuse me. And
No
then,
problem.
I schedule stuff around feeding time. So, but it works out. It's just great. And just being able to connect with my animals and just being with them, that's what brings me joy. And so to be able to have that in my life is what I think makes me really happy with everything that I do. And it's totally different than the corporate world, which is what I came from. So,
Right.
I worked in corporate, I worked in financial services for over 20 years. And,
Wow.
I wanted to be a veterinarian. I went to school. Something happened when I was, working as a vet tech. It just didn't work out. I changed my major because it wasn't for me. I couldn't do it. And so I did the thing. I put myself into a box and said, you can't work with animals because you don't want to be a veterinarian. I didn't know there were other options. And, when we were younger, maybe there weren't these options. And it's just wonderful to come back to what I dreamed of doing as a child was just working with animals. And here I am. So it's just incredible to wake up. And there's so many days I pinch myself like, oh my God, this is like, what would 9-year-old Melissa say? What would she be doing right now? She would never believe I'm laying on the ground and there's 2 pigs next to me. Like, it's just really a dream come true.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, and that's also part of why we're here, our connection with pets. And that's amazing to hear because they are so grounding for us. And that's why there's so many of us and so many pet parents that are so passionate about their health because I feel like having a pet, I don't even know if I like that word anymore. I just want to call
Yeah,
them fur kids.
I know. I
Can
call
we
them
just
fluffs or furries, and
yeah,
yeah, I know it's
I
hard,
mean,
but yeah.
these are our babies.
Yes,
These
absolutely.
are our babies, and their health is so important. And so much of our own health and well-being is connected to theirs and vice versa. I know we talked a little bit about this, and
Yeah.
we may go into it more later. Melissa is also an intuitive and an energy worker, and she does energy work with animals, and we can explore more about that later. If you have questions for Melissa on that, please go ahead and put them in the comments, because I know that she would be happy to share. But one of the things that I have found, and I want to get your input on this, is I used to do human holistic health and then got into pet holistic health. And one of the things that was really interesting is they would do food intolerance tests if there were some gut issues, and they would share the same food intolerances.
It's so incredible. Yeah, that's
And it
just an
really
amazing fact.
goes to show how much our little pumpkins are connected with us, just as, we're all sharing this realm and this planet Earth and this energy together. So how do you feel like our own emotional or physical state can affect our animals?
The moment that you start paying attention to it, you will never be able to stop seeing how how much we're all connected with each other, because it's our little family unit. And sometimes I look at it like it's our little pack or our herd. And most people have multi-species homes. It doesn't matter who's in the home, we're all connected on a level that we're safe and we're secure together. So when someone's energy is off, and us being the emotional leader in that household, if our energy is chaotic, we're coming home from a stressful day, or we're coming home from traffic and we're like, if you watch your animals, they're going to react to that. They're going to be maybe more nervous. They're going to feel your energy and start reacting to that energy. So if we're able to kind of cleanse that before we walk through the door and just let it go and come to our animals in a calm state and a neutral state, our animals are going to, first of all, appreciate that, because the last thing they need is those human emotions that are so complex and we just carry them around without even knowing. And it's just, yeah, you'll see a difference just coming to them with a calm heart, love, being open. And another thing with that, though, is put everything away for a few minutes. And that's a good way to decompress from your day too. Put your phone down, put everything down, and just sit with your animal and calm and bring that energy down with them. And you'll see that reflected in their attitude and what they're doing too. Like, I think we talked about, if you have a kitty that's going outside of the box, check yourself. See if you can stop. Maybe you're doing something, or maybe someone else in the household is doing something. It could even be the dog that's doing something, but kind of check everybody's energy, like, okay, what's going on here that's doing this, that's kind of causing a little rumble of chaos in the home.
That is such an incredibly good tip. And to tie it back to what we do, and talking about what Melissa does, is I feel like, at least this was for me, when you don't know what to do, if your pet is struggling with their health and you don't know what to do, that creates a certain amount of nervous energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's part of why we are here. That is part of our dedication to you, to our pets, as pet health enthusiasts. We are here as that compassionate guide to give you more confidence in how you're going about supporting your pet in their health struggles. So if you're wondering, what the heck do I feed? What do I do? My kitty has kidney disease or hyperthyroid, or my dog is struggling with having diarrhea constantly. What do I do? I know that for me and with Darla, that was a big part of it, because we have this fear of, I don't want to lose them.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to happen to my pet. And they feel that energy. And it doesn't mean that you aren't valid in those feelings. We absolutely are. But leveling out that energy in a way that you suggested, and both getting some guidance and just feeling like somebody is on your team, like on your side. We're here to be partners in health.
Right, exactly. And when we're in that emotional state too, sometimes we're so close to the situation, we can't see what's going on. I mean, I have to ask for help. So if there's something going on in my house, I'm too close, and sometimes it could be someone like Melissa could come in and say, "Oh, have you tried this?" And it's something that's so easy and it's right there, but when you're in your emotions, you can't sometimes see the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right. What other tips would you have for people that are feeling like that? I loved your tip of, all right, when you're coming home, leave it at the door. I know that you gave me a great tip the other day. Speaking of, see, Melissa and I, she's on my team right now. Little Darla's been having some flare-ups, and I'm struggling. And it's because I just love her so darn much, like we all do. And Miss Melissa came in and was able to offer some energetic guidance. And one of the things that she talked to me about is just having some quiet time with your pets, and put on some relaxing music.
Yeah,
Music in
meditate with
general,
them. Just
meditate with
meditate with
them.
them. And whatever that looks like to you. I mean, some people like a more active meditation, some people want a guided, some people just want pure quiet. I mean, whatever works for you, your animal is going to feel that in you, that relaxation, and then they're going to also calm. So if they don't feel well, the best thing that you can do with them is sit with them and calm, and just open your heart, and just picture that you love them. Send those messages out, whether you say it out loud, whether you just picture it. Just calm and love. That's if we could all be more like our animals, right? I mean, that's all they really want, just love. And us, they just want us.
I feel like we need a collective right now.
I know.
Spreading that energy out
Then we're done.
to all of you. If there's animals, if there's anybody on right now, if you're like, holy smokes, I am so overwhelmed, get on here. Ask us some questions. We're here for you. That's part of what we do. Yeah. And another thing I was thinking about when you were mentioning that is we talk about this part of our role as holistic pet health coaches and bridging the gap between pet parents and vets. Of course, we need vets. They're amazing. They do lots of things, but we come in and fill in the gaps in areas where they can't, where there's, once they've got all the diagnostic issues. But sometimes if their recommendation is for kibble with a cat that has kidney disease, we have dug in, we've done the research, we have the education to know that there are alternatives that are going to be better for your kitty. Okay, I'm going to turn back around and focus to where I was going on this. But, I have spoke with a lot of pet parents, and it's usually a frantic call after an emergency room visit. And, hey, I just got my pet home from the emergency room. I am absolutely devastated because the vet said that I've got A, B, and C going on. What do I do now? And then all of a sudden, you just had a pet that was at the emergency room. You were at the emergency room. The energy of that, a diagnosis, holy cow, that can really create a lot of inertia. And that's not really beneficial for a healing environment. So, once again, being connected with a holistic pet health coach is also educational in the way that you can learn about when it's time to go to the emergency room and when it's not. And if your pet is having diarrhea for the day or vomiting for the day, does that necessarily mean a trip to the ER? Probably not.
Right.
But let's see what's going on. And I guess my point of that is that if we can avoid the VR and that energy, because I know that when I've had to do that in the past, my pets have kind of struggled with that.
Yeah, because it is. It's the ER vets are very stressful. They're very expensive. You're waiting. A lot of people have to drive a long distance to get there to begin with, and you're already rattled because, oh my gosh, what's happening with my animal, and I can't help him, and I don't know what to do.
Right.
So yeah, that whole experience, it's not. We want to avoid it when we can, but obviously, it's a good resource when we need an emergency vet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. One of the things that we talk about as well in our role is now the estimate is that there are 90 million pets in this country.
Yeah.
Do you know how many vets we have? Who knows how many vets we have? Anybody? Miss Melissa, do you know?
It's like
the estimate is 75,000 to 90 million pets. So they are overwhelmed and a lot of times overworked, and they don't have the time in a lot of cases to explain to pet parents what that diagnosis they give might be. Once again, that's where we come in and can help bridge that gap, explain diagnosis, look over blood work, things like that. Melissa, I would love to. Oh, did you have something?
I was just going to say, I like to compare it to a human health coach. If we're diagnosed with kidney disease or diabetes, our doctor is going to give us a diagnosis, give us medication, and say, go talk to a nutritionist, go talk to a health coach, go talk to a dietitian, figure out how to fix your diet. And that's what they're going to start with. So we're just on the other side of that for your pet. We're offering that same support of, where do I start to manage this now chronic illness? Or even better, start when they're a puppy or a kitten and there's nothing going on, and get them off to that best start that they can get, the best diet, and just start supporting their systems, especially dogs that we know, I have 3 Great Pyrenees. They're prone to having hip dysplasia. They're prone to certain things. There's a lot of dogs that are prone to certain ailments. So knowing that and supporting them right off the bat with natural supplements is so helpful. I mean, diet is incredible, though. I mean, just everything starts with the diet.
Absolutely. We have a question for you.
Ooh.
Can you do energy work virtually?
Oh.
And can you explain how that works? I know we started going down this road, and then we kind of moved away. It's like a car. Maybe I'm a bad driver.
No, here you go.
I'll try to stay in the lane. Okay, so what do you think?
So yes, and most of my clients they're virtual. So I do it remotely. And what it is I'm working with a subtle energy, universal energy, and it's kind of, I like to just kind of make the comparison. You might watch a replay of a TV show that was live a few hours ago and it makes you laugh, but it's all energy. Like, that's energy that made you laugh in that time.
Generator's sputtering out. I need to go refill it.
Technical difficulty.
So my Wi-Fi is going to drop.
Oh, it is?
Is what he's telling me, because our generator is running out of gas.
Oh boy.
I know.
Well, that's okay. So how much time do we have?
So I wonder if I can just join from my phone.
Why don't you try to join from your phone? While you're doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to piggyback off of what you were talking about with the energy. So when I get asked this question, keep in mind, I just want to say that both Melissa and I are highly trained in the science of all this, but we believe that energy being a part of it and treating the whole system, that's part of holistic. We treat mind, body, and soul. So doing this and treating the pet as a whole, their energetic well-being is part of that. And if you look at traditional Chinese medicine, a lot of what that works on is the energetics or qi of the body. So I've had people ask me before, what happens when you're doing an energetic reading on an animal? For me, and Miss Melissa may have a different explanation, but for me, I always like to say it's like when you tune to a radio station. So radio is like a frequency, and you're able to tap into that, and we can feel it. And when you think about it, all we are really is energy. I mean, this is a really bad example, but what happens if your heart stops? It's an electrical shock because it's electrical waves that keep the heart going. Maybe that's a bad example, but we're all just energy and a frequency, and we can tap in like that. Okay, let's see here. There we go. Did we get it?
I think so. I'm
Okay.
back.
Yay. Hello, welcome back. So I'll just finish and then I'll let you
Okay.
add to that. So really for me, when I do it, it's just tuning into that frequency like a radio station of that person or that pet. So for example, with Darla and I have got her channel programmed at the top of the list. And that girl loves to talk as much as her mama does. And so it's kind of like an all day thing. We chat, and Melissa talked with her yesterday too. And she's like, holy Toledo, your doggy likes to talk. I'm like, just like her mama.
Darla is amazing. She's a very evolved dog. I love
Yeah.
Darla.
Thank you. Well, she's not really a dog, remember?
Yeah.
Darla, we joke about this because Darla, if I call her a dog, I'm sure some of you've experienced this with your pets, like your pets refuse to believe that are actually pets. They're not. They're babies. They're
Yes.
babies. She's like, I am not a dog. I am more than that. I am the baby. So, anyways, okay, Melissa, come on back in with your. I want to hear how it works for you. This is so juicy. I'd love to hear
So
this. It's
it's
interesting.
yeah. So I mean, to me, it is. It's it's. I think everybody can agree that everything is energy. Everything is made of energy, and that's what we're working with. And I do scalar wave, which is the biomagnetic field around us or the animals. And what I do is I open my heart space, I welcome them in, and then I can connect with them on just such a spiritual level, but it's incredible. And they're the masters at communicating like this because this is how they communicate. We turned it off as babies when we
Bingo.
started to talk. We didn't need to communicate this way anymore. Animals are always communicating with pictures, thoughts, feelings. They're not using words. So, as we evolved by using words, we lost some of those subtle communications. But you can get it back. That's the other thing is anybody can do this. I mean, everybody is born with this.
Agree. This is such a fun rabbit hole that we could go
I
down.
know. This is I know we went whoop.
Well, I mean,
Right off the deep
that's
end.
okay. That's okay. That's the part of the coaches collab. We're
Yes, it is.
sharing with you what we talk about so you can get to know us. And this is
Yes.
part of who we are, and especially part of what Melissa does. And it is important. And to, add a little bit about to that, um, just as humans, here I go on my little soapbox here for a second. We are so inundated all day long by technology, and we've got to check the feed, we've got to check the Facebook, we've got to check this, we've got to check that. And I hope you're on Facebook right now, but after this, take a breaky.
Yeah.
Because the constant need to be occupied has become a staple in how we are operating as humans. And really, at the end of the day, it's not that beneficial. We really need time to just be in silence, be quiet, reconnect with our own energy, and then have a chance to connect with those around us, and especially connect with our animals. So I hope we have made a case for having quiet time if you're not having it, and using those little pumpkins who know they're not actually pets as an excuse to have that quiet time, to be with them in stillness. What do you think about that, Melissa? We should.
I love it. It's just about, bringing yourself down. It just the rest and relax and bringing your nervous system down and bringing their nervous system down so your body can just heal and do what it needs to do to just, you know, survive in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. We have another question. Hi, Beth. Hi, Miss Beth. Beth was wondering if you do any other work besides on cats and dogs.
Yes. I do. My energetic and the animal intuitive, I do anything, everything. I've talked to gibbons, I've worked with wild animals, I've worked with I'm looking parrots. I mean, there's no limit. There's no limit. And I will share that there is a difference between maybe some like a tiger that's in a sanctuary versus a dog that lives in a house. They have different points of reference, so it's gonna be a different intuitive experience because they don't know what the refrigerator is and they've never seen a TV. So like they're not going to have points of reference like a dog or a cat that lives in the house with you. But horses, oh my gosh, I think horses and pigs, oh, they love energy work. They love it.
They're probably so excited to just feel connected. Did we miss you?
Uh-oh, I'm here. Can you see?
Oh,
I'm like,
yay!
here we go.
I was about to have to talk the whole time, and that's okay. I mean, that's
brief.
all right. If I got to talk, I'll talk. I love it. I just pretend like I was you. It's the M&M show. Can be both of us at the same time. I was just going to start channeling you energetically, and then we would have made it work.
That would have worked.
I'm only partially kidding. Okay, so I thought it would be fun to add a little something fun at the end. And we're kind of wrapping it up. So if anybody has any questions for the amazing Melissa, or before we get to a new little part of this, which I will tell you about later, did you have anything that you wanted to add, Melissa? Well, I'm just, you know what? I'm going to put you on the spot.
I know. I'm like, ah.
I'm going to put you on the spot. And if you could describe what makes your soul sing about this,
Oh my God.
what is it?
Do you have any time?
We got all day, girl. We got all day.
Okay. It is being able to give someone space to breathe when they feel like they can't anymore. Just being able to, I mean, look, I do this for the animals, I'm not going to lie, but being able to support an animal lover, I know how much I needed that. And just the words of encouragement from people and like, you helped me do this, or my dog is no longer on this medication that was making him throw up every day because now he's on CBD oil. That's just so rewarding to me that not only do they have hope, but sometimes they see their animal in a different light. And that's the thing I love about the animal intuitive, because you can change the perspective and they're now honoring their animal in a different way that they didn't even know was possible. They thought they loved them to the moon and back, and then they're like, oh, there's another layer. It's like they get to it's just beautiful.
That gave me goosebumps, and it kind of makes me teary.
I'm trying
because
not to cry. That's why I was like, I need to pump the brakes. I'm so passionate about this.
Yeah, and you know what? It shows, and you can feel
Thank
it.
you.
I can feel it. And if any of you are watching right now and this resonates with you, you can feel this and you need help, or you're feeling called to do this like we were, there is to become a holistic pet health coach. There's a link in the comments that you can find out about how to become a coach. Because Melissa and I were talking before we did the live today, we both were getting teary-eyed because we were both pinching ourselves at how incredibly rewarding and fulfilling this is. And would we love, are we, are we hoping for abundance and success? Of course, but it's not like that. It's because this makes our hearts sing. It brings us joy to help the pets. It brings us joy and it fills our hearts to know that we've made a difference in somebody else's life. So once again, if you're listening right now and this resonates with you, come be a part of our amazing group.
Yeah. And
check
I'm
out
happy
being
to
a
talk to
holistic pet
anybody
health.
about
Yes.
my experience too, because it's amazing. And this whole group is supportive. I love it. And really showing pet guardians that there are options. There's not just one way to do things. There's something that fits in your budget. There's something that fits your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be one way. And I think giving everybody permission to research, to ask questions, because for years I felt like I could not ask my veterinarian or my doctor, my human doctor, I could not ask them questions. Now I'm educated and I can, and I'd love to share that information with you.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Oh, I love getting in all the feels.
I know we could do this all day.
I love getting in all the feels. Should we do something fun?
Yeah, let's do something fun.
Okay. So before we get to the end of our live, this has been wonderful. You're amazing. I'm just so impressed
You're
by
amazing
you.
too, Melissa. This is great.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have a little thing called pet peeves and pet perks. So this is kind of like burning questions, rapid fire, but there's no questions. I'm really putting you on the spot. So what pet peeves and pet perks are, and I'm going to ask every holistic pet health coach that comes on here because I think it's fun, because I think we all have our things. Like if you're like, okay, if I could get rid of these 3 things, if they could just go away, or oh my gosh, this again, those would be a pet peeve. Like a thing. Pet perks are something you're like, oh my gosh, I can't live without this, or I have to have this in my life, or I do something now. Do you want me to keep talking so you have 10 seconds to think about it?
See, I totally thought this was going to be like a rapid fire. You were going to list things and I was going to be like, pet peeve. No. Okay. So.
Oh, I can't. Well, I can.
I think number one is.
If you had to rapid fire 3 pet peeves, what would they be?
Prescription diet, kibble. And it's hard. It's hard. I'm like freezing. I'm freezing now.
It's okay. Well, all right. I'm with you on that. My number 1 pet peeve is prescription diets as well. Yeah. Okay.
And I think over prescribing certain things too is a pet peeve, but
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on pet perks, if you had to list 3 things that are like your, I guess the fancy word now, or I shouldn't say the word everyone's using, your Roman empires.
So, am I dropping brands? Am I saying brands and stuff in here, or just a general? Because I mean, I have 3 things I could.
I think you can do whatever you want.
Well, I mean, diet. So a fresh whole food diet is my number 1. Oh my gosh. I just tried these Beam Minerals is this company. I just tried this. There's something called Boo Boo Lights and something called Happy Lights. They're my new everything. I mean, I was stung by a wasp. I usually have a very bad allergic reaction to it. Like I had Popeye arm a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago. I got
Mhm.
stung again and sprayed it on immediately. No reaction. So I've been using it on my dogs because yes, I live on a farm and we have wasps and biting flies and it's so beneficial. And the other thing is, I mean, I love CBD cannabis products, especially for pain. I've seen so many good things, especially in my bigger dogs, but in clients too. And medicinal mushrooms are like, I don't know what I ever did without them.
Um, I want to give you one like pet perk of mine that you actually gave me.
Oh,
Another great thing
I'm like,
about
"Hey, what
our
was this?"
community sharing. Well, we both work a lot with kitties, and we know that they are can try our nerves. These little
Yeah,
sweet feline friends of
yeah,
ours. Um, and I usually use like unsalted tuna juice or unsalted canned chicken juice if I really need to get them turned on to something. And then you
yeah,
mentioned the fermented tuna juice. Okay, kitty
yes,
parents.
yes.
I'm
It
gonna
is
put
like,
links into it won't be on the live because although I can multitask, I can't put in links into all the things at once. So we'll figure that out. But I will add links in later so you can come back if you're coming to the replay. We'll put links into the things that Melissa mentioned in addition to all of the other links that we've gotten here. And then, okay, so tell me about the fermented tuna juice.
the fermented fish stock
Oh,
is
fish stock. I mean, that
it
sounds bad.
smells like horrible, but it is like kitty crack. I mean, they love it. You can either make it yourself, which if you do that, please
Yeah.
don't do that in your house.
Like Michael making the salmon crock pot in
Yeah,
his
like
house the other day.
that's the face they would be making, right? So it's but you can order Answers, I think has it, but you can find
Mhm.
some places like your local boutique might sell that kind of stuff, but you just dribble a little on their food. It's great for transitioning, but it's great even after you've transitioned because it's fermented. So it has great probiotics in it. It's just a nice natural way to get those.
Yeah. I feel like I have so many pet parents. Hearing from pet parents, my kitty doesn't want this, my kitty doesn't want that because they're little Kittle addicts. I mean, while we're on this
Oh,
topic, you know.
oh, I could go on this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've got a few minutes. Go for it,
Energy.
girl. I mean,
We can talk about energy though. So with cats, probably the most sensitive to all energy. They're very in tune with everything. I mean, people make jokes about cats being magical or mystical, but they're so in touch with everything.
they're
That's
all
why
little
they know
Reiki
what they
masters.
want. They know what they don't want. I think all of us can learn a lot from cats because they are amazing at boundaries. And really, I had a dog trainer tell me that once. If I could hire a bunch of cats to work with me, all these dogs would be not a problem. And it's true because if you've ever seen your cat with a dog, the cat's just like, done. We're done.
Right. When they're
But
done, it's like a
people are
quick
like,
like
oh. So it's all about if you're trying to transition your cat from a kibble diet and they're kibble addicts, yeah, it's hard. But you gotta get neutral. Don't think about how hard it is. Don't think about, oh my God, they're not gonna eat this. This is such a waste. Get that all out of your head. So again, if you have to meditate for 5 minutes ahead of time, if you got to just sit there and listen to something, positive affirmations, whatever works for you, and just think, this is going to be great when my cat eats this. My cat's going to be so healthy. She's going to love it. She's going to love this food. And go in and just see if there's a shift. But go slow with them. Start with a little bit and then give them stuff like the fermented fish stock that'll stink.
that was kind of a like another
Yeah, but it
what
is. It's about your approach.
What such a great tip because I do think that so many pet parents go after it as, well, I don't know if they're going to eat this. It's always my cat's super picky. Yes, yours and every other
Yeah,
cat. Hate to tell you,
right.
all cats are picky.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they like what they like.
they like what they like, and if they are addicted to their kibble, it's also kind of the same concept of if you're the pack leader,
Yeah.
You're bringing food to them. In the
Yeah.
wild, they wouldn't be denying the pack leader the food
Right.
that the pack
Right.
leader brings.
Yeah. But if the pack leader came to them and was not sure about the food, they might deny it, right? If they
Yeah.
were, because if you're going and you're like, I don't know about this, they're going to pick up on that I don't know about this and be like, what does she not know about this? I am not eating that. Forget it. I mean, it's a back and forth with them. They will sense that you're hesitant, and then they're going to be like, I don't know what you're doing.
That's brilliant, Melissa. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sharing that. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
It's hard. Well, it's hard though, because you're in the moment and you're not thinking of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like you just want them to do it so bad, and you're thinking all these things in your head, but you're not realizing the energy that you're putting out while you're thinking all these things. It's like they feel that. If I came to you and I was like, here, try this, you'd be like, no, what is that? But if I was like, oh my God, this is great, this is amazing, try this, you're probably going to take a bite. I hope.
Yes. I mean, I love this. I love that we're learning every day. Because that was helpful to me. I hope it was helpful to anybody and everybody listening. That was like that was a life hack on getting kitties to eat. I mean, really. Once again, the reason that we're doing this, the reason that we're here on this Coaches Collab, behind the scenes, we're talking like this. There's a group of I think we're nearing 200 holistic path health coaches, an amazing group. We are supported by amazing people. We are all learning from each other. If I don't know something, chances are Melissa doesn't know something. Chances are another one of our amazing pet health coaches is going to know. And of course, we are backed by the amazing Dr. Ruth Roberts, who I feel like has seen it all. And it's truly been a remarkable experience to be with you here today and with all of them on a regular basis, and to get to have her support and resources on a weekly basis as well.
Absolutely. And the thing about Dr. Ruth is she always treats us as we're her equals, and it's a learning experience, and she challenges us to think, to learn, and it's just I appreciate all the support that she gives us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm sad our time is coming to an end,
Me
but our
too.
time is coming to an end. This has been so fun, and I appreciate your time today. Once again, anybody who's watching, if this resonates with you, there are links in the comments to check out more about excuse me. I was thinking I could hold that off until the end, and like no such luck.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Going back to that. Take two. If this resonates with you, then check out the links and have a wonderful day. Happy Friday.
Bye. Have a good weekend.